Hey, what's going on guys? Dante Trades here, and in this video I'm going to teach you how to pass your alpha futures accounts fast and get funded easily. So I'm going to go over my 50k results. This works on 150k as well. I've been passing this across multiple different prop firms, getting funded it in 2 to 3 days. And again, we're going to go over all the results, etc. I'm going to tell you the pro strategies and show you the exact trades and setups that I use to pass so that you can do this and get funded consistently as well for alpha futures or any prop firm out there that you want to trade with. Also as well, I'm going to show you the how to pass rhythm, tips, tricks, strategies, etc. Also as well guys, I'm a 6-figure trader and I'm doing a one-on-one private call with everyone who joins the premium community in the month of February. Inside of the premium community, I'm going live every single week. I'm doing trade reviews, trade feedback, breaking down my trades, breaking down your trades, answering questions every day, Monday through Friday. So if you want to learn more about premium, the link to that will be in the description. Also guys, before we get into this, you can use the code Dante Trades to get 20% off all plans. You guys can see here for a zero plan, it's normally $99, but if you apply that code, it goes from $99 to $79. And that code Dante Trades is going to always give you the best discount whenever you're going to be watching this video with Alpha Futures. And you can click the link in the bio and use the code Dante Trades to always save yourself and get the biggest discount when it comes to buying your accounts with Alpha Futures. And if you use the code, it helps the channel. So a win-win for us both there. Now let's actually go into my results and then I'm going to break down to you guys how I am passing these accounts. Now, as you guys can see here, I am here on the Alpha Futures account. My profit target has been hit. And to be 100% honest with you guys, I actually overshot my profit target by a few dollars. I made like $30 too much or something like that, which is something that can happen when you're trying to pass the accounts in the most aggressive way possible. And I'll show you guys how to avoid doing something like that. But you guys get the point. We hit the profit target in just about 2 days. And I'm doing this across multiple different prop firms. So Alpha Futures and every other major prop firm out there, 50k accounts, 25k accounts, 150k accounts. I am passing all of these accounts usually within 2 to 3 days. This was my very first try with this account, and I passed this, like I said, hit that profit target immediately within 2 to 3 days. Just so you guys can see here as well inside of the TradeZilla as well. You can see the same exact trades inside of TradeZilla that you can see inside of Alpha Futures, just so you guys can know that I am really taking these trades and passing these accounts consistently within 2 to 3 days across every prop firm and every account size out there. So now let me show you guys exactly how I am doing this. So how did I pass rhythm and mindset? Now I'm going to just show you guys the rhythm and the mindset behind why and how I'm looking to pass these accounts. And then I'm going to go into the specific strategies and the exact trade setups, etc. that I take to actually pass these Alpha Futures accounts. Right now, I'm normally looking to aggressively pass these accounts within 2 to 3 trades. Now, normally, again, I will actually suggest to pass in 3 trades, because when you're going to be trying to pass an account that has a 50% consistency rule in 2 trades, as you just saw, it is extremely hard to pass it perfectly with exactly 2 trades. I was just 1 tick off, and now I need to make like $20 more or something like that to actually fully get this account funded. But I was actually trying to get this video out to you guys, so I was trying to pass that just within 2 trades. So for most people watching this video, I would just say pass the accounts in 3 trades, not 2 trades, unless you want to be like really aggressive like me for whatever reason. This is the best way that I found for 50k accounts, and I've been like very consistently and easily been able to pass accounts doing this within 2 to 3 trades. Now for the bigger accounts, I will only pass in 3 trades, even if I'm going to be making content or whatever. I'm just trying to pass in 3 trades, because if you make a mistake on those 150k accounts and you lose the first trade, you lose the entire account. So I would say just break it down into 3 trades for those accounts. I'm always trading a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio, and I'm looking for B+ or A trades. That is how I trade. I found the 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio to work really well for me and to be the best for me, right? So what is my strategy and how did I pass? So I trade volume profile in order flow or volume profile in bookmap/volume dots, and we're going to get into what all that stuff means here. So what is volume profile? Volume profile is a tool that shows you exactly where the most trading is happening in the market. It lets you see the true volume and liquidity behind the markets, and this is used by professional traders and big institutions to spot the best price levels, right? So why this is a game changer. The volume profile shows in real-time market interest with no delays and no guessing. Most indicators out there are lagging indicators, but not the volume profile. So this finds the true support and resistance based off actual trades and liquidity in the markets, not just random lines on the charts. So this just pinpoints where institutional investors are putting money to work in real time, and it gives you high probability trade setups by following where the big players are active, right? So the key parts of the volume profile. First, we have the point of control. This is the single most traded point where big players are most active. So you can see here, this purple line here right in the middle. This line here, this is the point of control. At the point of control, you tend to see a lot of transactions happening, and the price tends to get more choppy at the point of control. The value area high is this green area here, or this is just value area, but the value area high is this green area here. And generally speaking, when the price gets to the value area high, we're generally looking for shorts off that area. The value area low is exactly the same thing, right? So when we get to the value area lows, I'm generally looking for longs off the value area lows, because for whatever particular session that you're going to be trading, this represents that the price is cheap. So value area high, generally expensive. Value area lows, generally cheap. And point of control is just fair value, where you just kind of see a lot of chopping around, a lot of buying and selling transactions happening at that level, right? And to break this all down to you guys, I came up with something called the onion market analogy. Now let's just imagine you go into a supermarket and you have a market for onions. And let's just say whatever grocery store you live near, the normal price is going to be $1 for an onion. So this purple line here, the point of control, this is going to represent a $1 onion. You just see a lot of buying and selling for the price of $1 of an onion happening at that price, right? So again, most transactions occur at the point of control, where buyers and sellers kind of agree and transact at that level, right? But once you get away from $1, let's just say this value area low in this situation, this represents an onion for the price of, let's just say like 1 penny or 5 cents or something like that. Now the reason why the price tends to shoot up after you get to the value area low is because most retailers or stores or whatever have you are not going to be willing to sell their onions for the price of 1 penny. So what does the price have to do? The price has to shoot back up to a more reasonable price of around $1 or $1, so that buyers and sellers, again, it can come into balance and agree that we are transacting at, $1, right? Again, the supermarkets, they don't want to sell their goods for that cheap of a price, right? And the same exact thing is true on the opposite, right? The value area high, let's just say this represents $20 for an onion, right? If you go into a supermarket, you're most likely not going to be willing to pay $20 for an onion, even if you really want an onion, because that price is just way too expensive. So again, what has to happen? The price has to go back down to a reasonable price, to $1 or near $1, so that again, you will be willing to buy those onions, right? So that's just a very simple way of how this works, right? And another key volume profile concept you need to understand is going to be high volume nodes. So high volume nodes are other large volume areas where you can expect strong reaction zones. So I use them as shields for my stops, or just general liquidity areas. So if you look at here, these green bars here, this is the volume profile, and high volume nodes are going to be where you see like really strong spikes coming out, really abrupt shelves of nodes here. Like you can see here, we have a strong high volume node here. We have this high volume node here. So really where you see the liquidity on the volume profile really abruptly change, and we have a big spike in liquidity or a big shelf in liquidity, that's going to be a high volume node. Because what happens, as you can see here, we drew this high volume node, and when the price comes inside of a high volume node, as you can see here, the price tends to have a sharp reaction once we hit those high volume nodes or those areas of high liquidity. So if you see a shelf of very distinct clear liquidity standing out inside the volume profile, you definitely want to pay attention to that, right? Let's kind of like wrap all this together and show you guys an exact trade and how I'm passing these accounts consistently with a very high win rate, right? So this is the example of a trade that I took last Friday. This is the exact trade that I took to pass the account. And let me show you guys why I actually took this trade. Now, the last concept that I'm going to explain to you guys here, it doesn't really apply in this trade, but I guess I'll just explain it to you guys so you understand. These balls here, these are green and red balls that you see here. These are something from the Bookmap. If you guys trade the Bookmap, these represent aggressive buyers or aggressive sellers coming into the market. So the bigger the volume dot, the more aggressive the buyers coming into the market. So as you can see here, this green dot here, this green dot is smaller than this green dot. So this means that much more aggressive buyers came in right here into the market and pushed the price up, right? And the opposite is true, right? You see aggressive sellers coming in right here, right? With these red dots. So you can see here we have two aggressive buys and two aggressive sells, but the bulls clearly won and the price pushed to the upside, right? Because those aggressive sellers, they got absorbed, right? And what I mean by they got absorbed is that these aggressive sellers came out here via market orders. They tried to push the price down and they were not able to push the price down, and the price instead shot up. So this means that we are very bullish, particularly bullish, right? Now, for a trade to be an A+ trade, for me, I'm looking for 3 confluences inside of the volume profile, or 3 levels or more, to confirm a particular trade, trend idea or trade setup, etc., etc. So in this trade here, you guys can see here, we were very bullish off the open. We came to the previous day high for the New York, which was also in confluence with the last week low. So we have 2 levels there already. We have the previous day high for New York. We have the last week low for New York right in the same area. And you guys can see here, I drew this volume notch here. This is going to be a high volume node that we also formed on top of this level. So again, to break down the confluences to you guys to why this was an A+ trade for me, we have the New York previous day high. So that's 1 confluence. And then we come above the New York previous day high. We have the last week low. That's 2 confluences for me. But then tying that all together, we created a high volume node on top of that level. Like right at that level, we're pushing up and we created a high volume node, which is this box here that I drew at this level, right at that level, right? And also technically, you can say that we have a 4th confluence here, and that is that there's just no volume here, as you can see, which is why I set my stop here under this volume node here, because no one is willing to transact here. For all those reasons, this was looking for, we have 3 stacked confluences all in this area, pointing to that if we come back and we test this level, we definitely should see some type of reaction and push back to the upside, right? All this liquidity building up here at this level, which all makes sense to push back to the upside, especially in confluence with the fact that we are super duper bullish off the open, right? So let's just see how that trade plays out. So you guys can see here, I'm here on the charts now. Let's see how this plays out. So you can see here, I got my entry on this trade here, and literally immediately as I got my entry, you guys can see I hit my TP within like 2 minutes, but the price actually tapped exactly that level that we were looking for, and the price actually continued like really further up. Now you guys can see here, this was the trade that got me, you know, passing and hitting my profit target. But you guys can see how good this works. I mean, all day we just come to that liquidity zone and that liquidity level, and we're bouncing right off that level. Understanding where the liquidity is, reading the volume profile and all these different levels, it is like extremely important to helping you guys set up really good trade setups and just pass these accounts really easily, right? And just to show you guys further proof from that trade from Friday, you guys can see here, I entered exactly on that candle that I told you guys here, and then I exited right there for 1.3K and passed that eval, right? So that is how we do it. So again, guys, if you are interested in trading with Alpha Futures, you can use the code Dante Trades to always get the best discount that they are going to be offering on the website. And also as well, if you guys are interested in the premium community, like I said, I'm doing personal one-on-one trading calls for everyone who joins the premium community in the month of February. We're always breaking down trades in there. I'm live every week, giving you guys feedback, etc., etc. So if you're interested in that, the link to that will be in the description as well. That's it for this video. If you enjoyed that one, like, subscribe, do all those things.